Hey everyone, Colin here. This is my 24-hour post-op update for my procedure yesterday of artificial disc replacement C4, C5. I just wanted to make this to kind of go over kind of my experience going into surgery as well as what I've experienced following it. I apologize if I ramble or anything. I'm on a couple of different medications as well as being kind of tired. It's hard to sleep, sitting up. So, yesterday, went into the Surgicare Center very early. I was the first operation of the day. They called me back into the pre-op room where they had each member of staff that was going to be taking part in my surgery come in and introduce themselves to me, kind of explain what they do, which was very nice and kind of comforting, or very comforting. Just kind of getting to know the people that you're trusting your health with. So after that, they hook up the IVs in there, roll you into the operating room. They had me move over onto this very small width diving board, is what they called it. The operating board, I guess. And everything kind of goes blank from there. They told me they were going to put in the anesthetic. And next thing I knew, I woke up in the, I'm not sure what the room is called, but the room where they're, kind of monitoring your health function and everything. I was in quite a bit of pain upon waking up. But the woman there she told me to let her know if that were the case and they could put something into my IV to try and, make me feel a little bit more comfortable. I'm not sure what it was, the solution that they put in, but immediately felt some relief. It was not long lasting, but maybe like 20-30 minutes. So after about 10 minutes of that, and trying to take deep breaths and everything, because I guess whatever that medication was made my oxygen levels drop low because I was just, so relaxed. I was breathing more softly. And so then they rolled me out to the room where my mom and girlfriend were able to come in and kind of talk with me and just kind of wait and go over everything as far as discharge and just make sure that I was stable before releasing me. And so at that point, I still felt pretty good because it was around that 30 minutes where that medicine was still kind of in my system. I did notice immediately upon waking up that I have a severe sore throat. Nothing that's not manageable, like it's okay. But it's just like a sore throat, but like the sorest throat you've ever had, probably, at least in my experience, which is annoying, but again, nothing to write home about per se. The incision is here. It's covered by a dressing underneath a neck brace. That had some kind of intense burning where I can feel that it is. That has gone away and come back. It seems periodic. For the first few hours following the surgery, though, it was very raw. It did burn pretty much the whole time. The back of my neck and my shoulders felt tight. This is something I've often heard described by other people that made videos like this. So, it felt tight, felt like it was being stretched. Moving forward into the day, we ran a couple errands, picked up the post-operation prescriptions, and dropped my girlfriend off. And then here I am. I'm back at my parents' house. I'll be here for a few days to a week or so, depending on how long I need assistance. One thing I will say is this soft collar, it's kind of annoying. I almost wish that I had a hard collar because it's not really restricting me all that much. right now, the way I'm positioned, it's kind of sliding up, so it looks like it is. But if I'm sitting up, there's about an inch or so, like between my chin and the brace, and then also it's loose enough, and they advised it being loose because I asked them at the in the post-op room to tighten it. They're like, we don't really tighten it more than this, and I was like, okay. I mean, you know, you guys are the experts or whatever. I will say that I wish I had the hard one, just because as it is right now, I'm basically fully mobile. It's mainly just serving as a reminder not to move my neck or my head, which is fine. One of the nurses actually, prior to surgery, was under the impression I wouldn't get a brace at all. So I guess it's better than nothing. But it's just one of those things. I just wish I didn't have the ability, so I didn't have to think about it. You know what I mean? Like when I injured my foot or my calf or whatever it was, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I was wearing a boot, and it was like I could not do anything that irritated it, and so I just kind of wish it was the same. But anyway, so again, notice that tightness and all of that. I will say, I've heard many accounts of people waking up from surgery, and they experience an immediate relief of all of like their nerve compression symptoms. I did not experience any of my nerve compression symptoms until probably a couple hours after surgery. So I was kind of, just scared and nervous that, maybe the surgery didn't accomplish what we wanted, but apparently it's also not super uncommon for it to take a few days for inflammation to kind of die down, for those symptoms to go away. The first thing that I noticed, or that I experienced following the surgery, again, a few hours after surgery, was the shooting pain, or not even a pain, but shooting irritation going down my arm into my hand / fingertips, and like kind of like weird palm pains. I don't know. I could just feel like, not pins and needles. It's not like, if your hand's asleep, but just I would get weird pains in my left hand from time to time. I did experience that. It's not happening as often as it did prior to surgery, which is nice. And then also the tricep burning, I felt a few more hours later. And then last night, to a very high degree, like worse than it was. I don't know if I would say ever, like before surgery, but that shoulder blade aching, I felt it slightly in the right one, which is rare. That happened only a couple times during flare-ups. But then in the left one, just excruciating. But this morning, I'm feeling quite good. It is now, it's like 1 p.m. When I woke up initially at 7, that neck pain at the back, the base of my neck where it meets my shoulders, was very rough. Very, very rough. But I took some of the medicine and was able to fall asleep again, luckily. And that's one thing I was worried about is sleeping sitting up, kind of how that would be if I'd be able to fall asleep. But when you get tired enough and you don't find a comfortable position, then it seems to be okay. But so as of right now, I'm still feeling some slight burning in the tricep, like just began as I've been talking in the last like 15 seconds or so. I will say also, it seems like there is some sort of matter or something in my lungs. I have one of my post-op instructions is to do deep breathing treatments every hour, as well as coughing treatments, which they didn't describe to me how that was supposed to work, so I'm not sure. I've just been coughing, not doing deep coughing because that hurts the incision, and they also explained to me not to do that. And then also ankle rotations. I'm wearing like stockings right now, compression stockings. Ankle rotations and moving my extremities, so essentially my toes, to prevent blood clotting, I believe is the idea. So anyway, right now I'm actually feeling quite good. Probably the best I've felt since surgery. And yeah, so just taking it day by day, watching TV shows. Lucky enough, my mom was able to take off work, and so we've been kind of, hanging out. I've had no trouble speaking really. I know some people do. I won't say that I don't feel it. Like I mean, it hurts like the tiniest bit, but it's not really bothering me at all. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But I hope to follow up in a few days and hopefully, you know, hopefully all of those nerve compression symptoms have subsided by then. And I do want to say, I think one thing about this, about my symptoms still being there and being persistent, is I did not have at any point, other than flare-ups, very severe symptoms that were experienced 24/7. I did experience symptoms daily, but also not to such high degrees. I've read lots of accounts of other people with nerve compression in their cervical spine, and a lot of them, had like debilitating symptoms. I did at points during flare-ups, but never on a regular basis. Again, I chose to move forward with the surgery, even though I could live like fairly well. I could live well, just never be active, but that, wasn't really acceptable to me, the way that I want to live my life. So I think that's a portion of it too. So I'm sure that if my symptoms were more severe, I probably would have experienced more relief upon waking up. But anyway, guys, I hope this has been helpful. I know that watching these videos was so helpful to me when I was trying to determine whether or not this was the right move for me. Anyway, guys, yeah, I hope this helped. And I hope to be talking to you in a couple of days with hopefully some more improvements. Yeah, I'll talk to you then.